opinion topics, I'd rather do with people so it can be respected as like, yo, that was just his opinion. Versus if I'm giving my opinion on like a solo live, people gonna try to like read into it like, yo, how you feel about this person or that person. That ain't really the case, but I do know core components in like how to win friends and influence people is never criticize, condemn, or complain. I just gave you some real free game. Stalker. Everybody watches everything from whatever perspective they watching it from. That's the beauty of life too. Like we could both look at the same thing and see it differently. But it don't gotta be, oh, I think different from you, I see something different from you, I feel different from you, so it's fuck. Cause you'll crash out. Too worried about what other people thinking. Build for yourself like 3 proximity circles. You got your innermost proximity circle, your outer proximity circle, and your fringe proximity circle. Keep your proximity circles in balance. Just like the solar system, you see model version, the sun and all the planets and shit, them shit stay in their proper place. Everything moves that way. If the sunshine is too close to in your proximity circle, nigga, that shit gonna burn you up. And we not talking about planet. What I was saying, peace is the highest vantage point. If you gotta express to another motherfucker that you dislike a motherfucker, that's not peace. Peace as your highest vantage point, then you would be able to view that dialogue or situation or conversation or whatever from a certain height that you wouldn't stoop below. Like for instance, everybody on Facebook right now talking about, you go low, I'm gonna go to hell. I'm gonna go to hell. So cowardly to live in love that you comfortably will go to hell. But I don't see no meme or nobody saying, yo, you go high, I'm gonna go to heaven. I'm talking about you go low, I'm gonna go to hell, because motherfuckers want to compete for the lowest standards ever in their victim narrative. Motherfuckers like, yo, you go high, I'm gonna go to heaven. You do something for me, nigga, I'm gonna double that shit. Like, where is that energy? That's the energy that you need, my nigga. Find those people. You've been a certain level of thoughtful for some time. There had to be that. Otherwise, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying?
It's not my story to tell, but it'd be an interesting story for you to hear, for you to pick his brain.
Yeah, you quote him a lot. And
yeah.
The quote
be live too. I'd be right in service when he say it. I'd be like, I just grab the phone and be like, let me not even forget it.
What do you think about that in this new age of life? Have a religious practice.
Me, I didn't. I definitely took space from it. Took time to not really want to follow it or whatever. Things where it kind of helps me, like, you know what I mean, like just like you listen to a motivational speaker, like, you know, like something you were saying something when I was going in and out about morals and principles. It helps keep me, like, helps with my foundation. Like the older I become, and I'll say it as far as age, just because I know you said your nephews be on here, being more and more careful about my circle and being more and more selective. I mind having small talk with anybody, but I've always been very careful with who I had lengthy conversations with.
Young nigga, you know you be sitting around niggas having lengthy conversations for days, nigga.
Bro, nothing's wrong with talking about nothing, but it's like even that time to me is valuable. So it's like, even who do I want to kick it with? Because like I feel like if I kick it with the right people, even if I'm talking about nothing, I have a higher chance of stumbling into something valuable.
Nephews, this nigga been on MTV and all that shit. So you know that, like, sometimes you gotta give them something so they know, like, oh yeah, like, who is it? Like, oh, okay, I can fuck with this nigga. Like, yo, he's done
some nigga.
Yeah, he's done some of the things that y'all niggas want to do already.
Oh man,
all right, you kind of hear.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, you talk about you talk about a lot of the deeper, you know, the deeper things that, like, everybody, like, even me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't consider myself like a dude that's not, like, I wouldn't say like I'm dumb, but you know what I mean?
You're intelligent people, I know for sure.
I appreciate that. But like I'm like a master of logic or a master of simplicity. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you say a lot of stuff over my head in the project when I listen to your music. But in the same token, like, I always hit you about, say, like, something that's like a gem. So you balanced it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there could be a part that in your head you're like, oh, that was the craziest thing. And I'd be like, yo, I didn't catch it at all, because it's like so into, like, you know, like all the things that you study and all the things that you're more a student. And I'm like, yo, that's not even my department, but the build up to that, you caught me there. So I'm already like, this is already the song I like. You know what I'm saying?
I 100% understand you, and all that says to me is something that I felt very intuitively about how to approach, and I followed through. I did the right thing.
Right. Yeah, it's a balance. The balance in that.
The balance, bro. That shit is the
I mean,
balance, bro.
cause like for me, like I can't communicate. I can't effectively communicate a street message with authenticity of a person that has gone through certain things. But I can communicate similar to like, and I'm not saying I'm that person at all, but similar to like a Nas with the close range point of view.
That's it. Peace
Or I can communicate from a coming of age in said environment. You know what I mean? Because I never had the house on the hill.
Right.
So it's like, oh, I was always right there. I was always right there. It's just that I was right there, and my mom was dragging me to church. I was right there, and like I still had to give handshakes and hellos to a lot of people that's doing a lot of stuff that I'm not about. You know what I mean? And they was always like, oh, he believe in himself enough to like really walk through here and not be shook. You know what I mean? Like, or I'll walk to work.
I feel like one of the biggest misconceptions about the hood, bro,
it's just
that like niggas is gonna be on your ass. And the truth is,
hate to say it, it's similar, like, and I'm not making it animalistic, but it's similar to dogs. Like, niggas smell fear. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you're not pussy, you're gonna be alright. Like,
yo, if you're not pussy and you're not violating, I feel like I'll prove that you be alright.
Like, I know that's just that dude. That's just that dude that just be, he just be chilling. He just be in his headphones. Oh, he just be, yo, I didn't know how to talk to some girls. Yo, what you be saying? Yo, all right. Yeah, I say, oh, yo, I can't say that. Well, you can say it this way. Back to the thesaurus.
Right.
Like,
bullshit. That's my nephew that wanted to ask me to do a lot of these jumped in. But yeah, that's, man, you hit the nail.
Yo, the thing is, there's some, like, I hate to say it, culturally, and not even culturally, but I say like even like lifestyle wise. So like we was talking about street dudes versus non-street dudes or whatever. Like oftentimes we are more alike than we are different.
That's where the whole "if you relate, we related" come from. Because we got more similarities than we got differences. Because we all,
of course. Like I think like if you took 5, and I know you poly, so I'm gonna just say single just for the sake of conversation. Mm-hmm. But like, if you take 5 single guys that's street and 5 single guys that's not street dudes, and let a girl walk by, different taste levels of how much they're gonna expose that they're looking, but they're all gonna look.
Right. That's a fact. That's a fact. Niggas be in church looking at ass.
No, but that's why I said different taste levels.
Be looking good. I love church.
I go with my lady. You talking crazy.
Nah, I'm playing.
You talking so crazy. You gotta relax.
But that's real. And you want to know what I think too? I think it would be dope if we even could get to a space culturally where we didn't view it as like you gotta be a street nigga or a not street nigga. How about we just be men? You know what I'm saying?
That's like, the point. And I mean, like, honestly,
things. Some of it might be street, some of it might not be street, but it's still, you did it because you was a man.
Not even to. It's funny how I'm ending up plugging my pastor, but you talked about him. But like yo, man, like Chris is like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Chris is not so much into the fact of what his personal commitment to faith is that he doesn't talk to people on a regular man level.
Right.
Like of course there's respect levels, so you may not have a conversation littered with all types of profanity because in your head you're thinking of who he is. Right. But if it slipped out, he'll keep talking to you. It's not he gonna like act like he gotta go run and grab the holy water or something
brother,
weird.
Don't use that kind of language, brother.
Like bro, they throw open gyms. They throw open gyms Sunday evening. Like they did it for like a couple months or whatever, where everybody's going It's like Cass said, he wasn't like, oh, you ain't go to church this morning. How you gonna come to open gym? He didn't
Right.
care. He was there
balling with niggas, right?
just chilling, having a good time. But it's like, I feel like those things are important to get that connectivity to build that bridge. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't even about what I'm about. This is just about us connecting on a human level.
And I think that's what, like, religion in the community is missing right now.
That
it don't feel like community. It feels like, it didn't feel like a punishment that you giving yourself after a week of sinning. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, as opposed to when niggas was young, if you grew up in the church, like how niggas grew up in the church, that was a community thing. You was in the church on more days than just Sunday, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like, you get what I mean? And, like, you spent time around those people that the people that existed in that congregation. Yeah. Those people became, like, your community. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember us going to other people's houses to eat and this, that, or the third, and then being introduced to those kids that way. Whereas traditionally, in our culture, nigga, we only accept the fucking community that we give in school because you're forced to go to school. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go to school. And then your little neighborhood.
Right.
That's it. That's all niggas got. So, like, my nigga, even if you ain't the most religious person, that's why back in the 60s and 70s, nigga, everybody went to church. Because it wasn't just about, like, it had a function larger than the pursuit of the exploration of your divinity or spirituality. You know what I'm saying? Like, it had a actual community function.
And honestly, man, like that's what attracted me to his church. You know,
niggas now, I ain't gonna hold you. Niggas now, the culture now feels like, yo, church is being too far off. Like, I ain't trying to get with that shit. But what I would say to my nephews that's watching this is suddenly like, damn, it's a lot. We end up talking about church and shit.
Yeah, like, pardon that, y'all. That wasn't the goal. Like, we'll get to something regular in a second.
But I would tell them, nah, nigga, go to church. Just don't go to church like your mom wants you to go to church. Like, you need to go and give your life to Jesus and get right. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with doing that. That's what you want to do. What I'm saying, though, is, nigga, go and sit in that motherfucker like you sitting on this live right now and just wait for the gym to hit you. If you feel like you fuck with me and you like, yo, nah, I fuck with Unc be saying some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and the thing is, now you don't even have to, no disrespect to showing up.
You ain't got to go to church. Like, you can do it on your phone, right?
You could literally just tune in, cut it off, cut it back on if you want to. If you don't want to hear the music, you can just go for the message. If you don't want to hear the message, you can just go for the music. Whatever the case